Hey, what's up? It's DJ Bring Out Your Dead again. And after I made my last video about Mohawk music, I thought I'd do a follow-up video. I got a really nice email from them today. Let me read it to you. It says, from Mohawk Music. Sorry for the delay in replying. The weather has just been gorgeous here, and we've been enjoying the garden a bit. Thank you so much for taking time to lead the reviews. Jealous you got to see Front 242. It's nice to know live music is happening again. We are definitely ready. And many thanks for the personal message. Paul and Terry are still in Tulsa and retired. The merchandise that was left when we closed the brick and mortar stores in Dallas and Tulsa has all been moved online and additional items added from some of our store employees' collections, and most important of all, David's collection. The vinyl you purchased was from David's personal collection. He's decided to downsize some of it and has entrusted us with it. George called me when he saw David's collection and said it was like seeing the entire history of wax tracks and industrial music in one place. Little did they know I actually went to that wax track documentary screening. But I mean, that is pretty close. One of the best things about that thing in Austin was that big giant wall that had all these flyers and posters and letters and pieces of memorabilia that all documented the history of Wax Trax Records. He worked for Little Wing Productions and the Canes before founding Diabolical Productions and opening Icon. We found out his mom actually worked the door at Icon. How great is that? That is pretty awesome. He also saved all the promotional posters and related ephemera. Not sure what that word is or what it means. ephemera. If you know, leave a message in the comments below. That was not given to local radio stations and independent record stores like ourselves, and we have them for sale also. It has also been so great to hear from people scattered all over the U.S. who attended some of the concerts we have items from and their memories of their time in Tulsa. It truly was a golden time with incredible bands touring through. George and I opened the Mohawk in Dallas at Central and Mockingbird after we moved here from Tulsa, so you'll see some Texas items sprinkled in too. Unfortunately, I never went to the Mohawk music in Dallas. Every time I back in the day when I went down to Dallas to buy records, I either went to Oaklawn or to Bill's Records. I liked Bill a lot. He was a really great guy. I have some pictures of him stashed away from the last time I saw him, I think in 2016. I think that was before he got sick and passed away. I've sent you your reviews to Paul, Terry, and David, and they definitely made their day. We truly appreciate the support you gave all of us when you were in Tulsa and now Mohawk online. Best, Carol, George, Paul, Terry, and David. So I was really happy to get that email today. I mean, that made me feel, kind of special that they, that personal touch of writing someone back. I should probably be more personal with people online, you know what I mean, and make more friends, because I definitely need some. But I wanted to go ahead and show off a little bit. After I was talking about all those records I got the other day. And this is my Front 242 collection, so I wanted to go through that and show you what I do have. I know this isn't all of it, all that's out there, but I plan on collecting it. So I'll give you a little piece of history on each one. This is Front 242, front by front, original pressing. It has all these tracks on it. I remember when this album came out new, there was a little club in Oklahoma City called the Rec Room. And they had already previously been playing Front 242 tracks like Aggressive and Quite Unusual. And I remember when Headhunter / Welcome to Paradise came out. And I bought this on cassette. And I wore that out. I think that was my sophomore or junior year of high school. I played that every day. I used to hang out with this girl named Rachel Avery. And we would always play that in her car. So there's that. And then the one that I got the other day, which is the first Front 242 album on Wax Trax, the Endless Riddance LP. I had a chance to listen to this. Fortunately, one of my turntables is messed up, so I'm going to have to replace it. So I had to do it the slow way and listen to them one at a time. I really enjoyed take one on this one. The other two tracks, they were all right. But that take one track definitely sells this EP for me. And then, of course, the Don't Crash 12-inch. Now, this song, I really didn't pay that much attention to it, I think, when I was younger. So for me personally, I think I underrated it. But after hearing it live in Dallas a couple weeks ago, it's by far like my favorite Front 242 track right now. This one and Lovely Day, which I don't have that on vinyl, but yeah, definitely. It's one of my favorite. And Human, of course, I listened to that after buying this. The other two tracks, they were all right. But that Human track is definitely one of my favorites. Now, official version, that was that first album that I heard by Front 242 when I first started getting into industrial music. I don't have that on vinyl. I do have some of the singles, and one of the best ones, classic master hits. You know me, and I sure know you. Every one of you. So there's that. And then this is the Interception 12-inch, which is one of my all-time favorites from Wax Trax. Quite unusual, Aggressiva. I had a copy of this before, but I don't know what happened to it. When I went to Dallas to KMFDM, I forget the name of the store, but my good friends Michelle and Brian recommended it to me, and I went there and I found this record as well as that Master Hit one. So I was really happy to replace those. Now this one right here, this old battered old thing, this is my original copy of Headhunter. No Worse for the Wear. You know, from, when was this? 1980, 88 is when this came out. And I still have it. This one doesn't have the catalog in it. I know some of them do, but yeah, I still have it. So what is that? 30 something years? 80, 88, 98, 2000, 2018. Oh my God, that makes me feel old. I've had that record almost like 35 years. And then of course, Never Stop. One of my favorites. I really like Work 242. Back in the rave days, there was this, what was the name of that group? Hard Floor, Into the Nature. They sampled the beat of that Work 242 and looped it over and over again. One of my all-time favorites. This one, I got this actually at Guest Room Records here in Oklahoma City when I bought that big giant Skinny Puppy collection. This is Tyranny for You, which has Rhythm of Time and Tragedy for You, of course. And a song that was kind of underrated by me before until I started hearing it live the last two times that I saw Front 242, Moldavia. That track is on here. It's one of my favorites as well. This is Rhythm of Time, the 12-inch of that. I got this record off of my good friend Wes Turner when he was getting rid of some of his records. I wish he had sold all of them to me, but I don't know. I guess other people had money first. But that's neither here nor there. And then kind of as a bonus, old Richard 23, him and Al Jurgensen of Ministry got together after Front 242 toured with Ministry in the States for the first time. And this album, this is a repress of that first Revolting Cocks album that Richard was on and did all the vocals for, Big Sexy Land. And this is one of my favorites of all time, favorite Revolting Cocks. I just kind of added that in there with the Front 242 since they're kind of connected. But if I did that with all my records, we'd be here all day of all the side projects and guest appearances and stuff like that. I think while I got you here, I was going through my Skinny Puppy stuff too, because I got a couple of those from Mohawk Music. I got the Stairs and Flowers, and what was the other one that I got? Well, we'll find it in here. This is my Skinny Puppy vinyl collection. So let's pull this one out. This is Remission. Unfortunately, this is an original copy of it. I did have all the originals on cassette tape and on CDs a long time ago. I know there's a lot of back and forth in the group about whether or not, you know, buying these reissues, whether it supports the band or if it's just a network cash grab kind of thing. But for somebody who likes vinyl and likes collecting vinyl, and since the original pressings are so expensive, just to start my collection, I guess you could say, I was happy that they did that. You know, some people say the sound quality isn't that great, but this is Remission, of course, which has Smothered Hope, One of the best Skinny Puppy songs of all time. This one is Bites. This is also a reissue. And this one has Assimilate on it. And The Choke, which is also some of my favorite tracks of all time. Oh, here's the other one. This is the one I got from Mohawk the other day. Addiction with Deep Down Trauma Hounds. Which Deep Down Trauma Hounds is also one of my most favorites. And Addiction too, on a little personal note, a few years ago when I decided to get sober, I had to go to these drug classes like every day for like months and months. And I would listen to Addiction over and over again. And that song and Hearthstone White really helped me get through rehab. So thank you for that. This is Cleanse, Fold, Manipulate. This is also a reissue, which has those two songs and a bunch of others. This is also one of my favorites. Stairs of Flowers, which of course has the infamous R23 version of Assimilate on here, as well as Chainsaw. And what do you mean what happened? I just slipped down these damn stairs. Now the first Skinny Puppy album I ever heard that got me into the band was this one right here, Mind the Perpetual Intercourse. When I moved here from Tulsa, I think I was like 15 years old, met this girl named Karen, and she made this mixtape for me. It had a bunch of punk songs on it, like Exploited, you know, Dead Kennedys and stuff like that. But two songs that she put on there was, you know, I'd never heard shit like that before in my life. Was God's Gift, Maggot, and Dig It. And from that point on, I became a Skinny Puppy fan. And then I remember from here on out, this is stuff that was like brand new to me. So as these albums came out, you know, I bought them, kind of thing, which kind of dates me, makes me feel old, but just thinking about that. Oh yeah, I remember when that was new. But this one's Censor, which is Dog Shit, which has the really great B-sides, Pumpkin Park Zoo and Yes He Ran. It's always been one of my favorites. Of course, this is a repressing of Vivisex 6. My original copy was a cassette tape, and I think I played that to death. So the best songs on here: Test Your, Who's Laughing Now, VX Gas Attack, always will be some of my favorites. Now this one is an original that I've had since high school. So even autographed by Ogre. It says Test Us, and this is Test Your, the infamous orange vinyl. I used to have like a mini CD of this as well, but also has the Second Opinion and Serpents, which are also very underrated B-sides. This I got at Guest Room not too long ago. It's original pressing of Rabies, which is one of my all-time favorite albums, even though it's like heavily produced by Al Jurgensen. I was always disappointed that they never did a tour for this album, because this was during the time period that Ogre decided to go on tour with Ministry for The Mind Is a Terrible Thing to Taste. But yeah, this will always be, like, people ask, what's your favorite Skinny Puppy album? It's this one. This one or Vivisex, but definitely this one. Of course, the singles from that, Warlock and Tin Omen, which this isn't my original copy. My original copy I ended up giving to Wes because I bought this one out of that guy's collection at Guest Room, because mine was a little bit scratched and stuff. Then, of course, this is the original pressing of the 12-inch singles. So all those little 12 inches or whatever, they made a compilation of them on this so you could hear it. So I used to have the CD for that. And then Too Dark Park, concert I went to at Diamond Ballroom, which they were talking in that email about David. I think the show at Diamond for Too Dark Park, I think that was a Diabolical production, as well as the Last Rites tour that came later. Here's Spasmodic, which is one of the singles off of Too Dark Park. And in my other video, I mentioned I thought that I didn't have Tormentor. I do have Tormentor. It's the 12-inch single off Last Rites, Inquisition, that I don't have. Which, speaking of Last Rites, one of the holy grails of any Skinny Puppy fans collection, Last Rites. This is a promo copy, so it's not the one with the album art or the reissue that the band did a few years ago. And then, of course, after this album was The Process, and that was around the time that Dwayne died. And for me personally, I mean, I was into the whole rave scene and this kind of happy, fun house music and all that. So I guess when Dwayne died and Skinny Puppy broke up, that's kind of like when I gave up on that band. Of course, they reunited in the year 2000. Greater Wrong of the Right. So if you talk about the newer stuff, I don't have that one. But out of the newer ones, I have Mythmaker and Weapon. And Weapon was the album that got me back into Skinny Puppy in 2014. But anyway, that's just a little something I threw together. As time goes on, I'm going to try to make some more videos of different pieces of my collection, and when I can think of more things to say. I'm in the process of trying to get a better camera and some editing software, so it isn't all just one take of me rambling and forgetting to say a bunch of stuff, or oh yeah, I should have said that later. But I appreciate everyone for watching this. If you can, leave a like and a comment and subscribe, and help me grow the channel. There's no us anymore, because that's another story. But I'm going to be on Twitch tonight, probably around 9 o'clock. So I'm going to start streaming again, probably all digital, because like I said earlier, one of my turntables, I think the tone arm is messed up, so I'm going to have to replace it. But thanks again for watching. Have a great day.